Welcome back to yet another extremely polished edition of Snap Copy's Snappy Copy Tips. I'm Leanna Patch.
And I'm James Turner.
We practiced that.
We did. We nailed it.
A little bit. High five. Boom. Okay.
And today we're going to be talking about what are we going to be talking about today, Leanna?
We're going to be talking about how important grammar is in copy, grammar and correctness. James, what do you think? How important actually is grammar when you're writing?
I think you worry too much about it.
Wow, rude.
I think it matters less than we think it matters. Outside of the world of people that write, I think that it's less of a concern.
Wow. Everyone, you see how he treats me? You see this? This is the kind of disrespect I'm dealing with.
You're going to get kicked off of LinkedIn.
Yeah. Everyone is forced to capitalize on LinkedIn. I don't know. I always answer things in lowercase on LinkedIn just to throw people off.
No, so there's a good important, there you are right there.
Yes, I know. Okay. So this has been an example. Probably this was the first thing in my life where I was like, oh, people change. I have changed, because I used to be a copy editor, AKA a huge pedant, very pedantic person.
I recall.
Yes. Well, now I'm just loosey-goosey, whatever goes. Let's do some drugs. Just kidding. And because, okay, so my job was correcting everyone else's mistakes. So not only was it my job to know what was a mistake, I had to go through and fix them. So I still have those habits. But if you play around intentionally with your grammar and things like punctuation, not putting a G on the end of a word that ends in G, you know, using a comma, even though you know it's incorrect, instead of like a semicolon or a dash, like all of those things, because they're the way that like non-writers communicate, I feel like it can make you more persuasive and familiar in all of these qualities that we want our copy to evoke, right?
Yeah, I think that the big sort of schism, if you will, in our brains comes from the fact that we're trained to follow the rules and follow the rules. Like no one in grade school is studying copywriting.
Right.
But it kind of like you have to reprogram yourself. To not follow the rules because of the rules. Like obviously if you completely stop spelling words with any kind of like uniformity, then people won't understand what you're saying. And that's a problem. Or if you're not consistent, then it looks weird on the page.
Right. And that hurts trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Little psychological cues, right? Like, I don't know. Like there's that whole, this is all, we didn't talk about this leading up to this, but that whole like internet scam of like, I'm a Nigerian prince and right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've had a lot of my close Nigerian friends that way.
Fair enough. And you must be a gazillionaire.
I am.
Perfect.
Thanks, Western Union.
But they purposely wrote those letters down to a certain level because if they were too polished, like they'd be
I don't know.
No, this is what I've heard. This is what I've heard. That they were that type of scam, they intentionally write it really badly to filter out the people who are going to think critically and only get to their target, the people that they want to get to, which is the people who aren't going to think critically.
I think that gives them a little bit too much credit, but maybe I'm wrong. Here I am thinking critically. I'm so critical.
You're not the target market.
I
remember, can I have here's an anecdotal memory from our friend Sam Woods. I remember we were in a Slack channel together and he puts up something for us to look at, to critique or something. And I remember you found a typo and he was like, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was like,
what?
Yes, that totally blew
years
my mind.
Ago, yeah.
But it's a thing.
So, but it's one of those cases where you should probably know the rules before you decide to break them and break them for a reason. So we've talked about like, should you include a typo in a subject line to get people to open an email? Because there's some evidence that shows misspelled subject lines get opened at a higher rate, probably by people like me who are like, oh, excuse me, did you know that there's something wrong in your subject line? But it's, it's like a double-edged sword because you can kill the trust that you're trying to build by looking like a dummy.
If you're not dialed into who exactly you're talking to.
Right. Right. Oh, well, we ended up back at customer research again. Look at us go.
Well, and it just makes you think that even the answer following the rules of grammar is not important is not the same as the answer grammar isn't important.
Right.
So maybe where you've convinced me through this conversation, we were going to take opposite sides, that grammar is actually extremely important, but not correct grammar, the right grammar for your audience.
Knowing how you're going to use grammar to your advantage in your copy. Something so small as a misplaced comma, can be like a subtle dog whistle to your perfect person. Like, oh, that's how I use commas. Now, we can't track conversions directly to single commas. If we could, that'd be great. But it's the combination of these, the combination, if you will, of all of these little things. Oh, okay. I will. If you will, nice. You should put it in the comments. Do we have anything else to say about grammar? I feel like there was one other thing that I wanted to say. I'm going to look at Slack.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I mean, I think we kind of covered it. One of the things that used to drive me crazy that I now totally am just used to is that whole emphasizing words by making one word sentences all the time. Like, I hated it.
And then on Twitter, one clap word.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, that's if that's how people who you're targeting are used to writing and reading, and like it makes them be like, yeah, this is hip. This is like,
we're cool. See?
Exactly.
We're not old. We both just hit significant birthdays, so that's something we've been discussing. Anyway, don't ask how old we are, but do tell us how you use grammar in your copy intentionally, and how you correct grammar if you're working on your copywriter's copy or somebody else's copy. Don't correct your copywriter's copy. Forget I said that. All right. Talk to you later.
Another episode of Snappy Copy Tips.
So snappy. You're welcome.
Thanks.